Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of TC Talk. My name is Therese, and thanks for stopping by. So yeah, I guess apologies to all who listened or tried to join in my live stream yesterday. It's been really hot here in Sydney, Australia, and because of that, I think my internet has not been all that great, especially for live streaming purposes. So, as they say, the show must go on, and instead, I'm gonna do this video to talk everything about Spider-Man No Way Home. So I saw that movie a couple of days ago, and what are my thoughts? Before I begin anything, I should probably state that, there are going to be spoilers in this video, so you haven't seen this movie yet and you don't want any spoilers, yeah, just wait, hold on until you watch it, until, you click on this video. But do click on this video because I enjoy all the views and subscribers that I can get, so thanks. But yes, there'll be spoilers. And did I like this movie? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So the movie basically takes off right where the previous movie left off, which is everyone now knows that the Tom Holland Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So what does he do? He pretty much goes to Doctor Strange, and because he's a time wizard, and you're gonna be hearing me say this a lot, a wizard did it. He goes to the wizard and basically asks him to basically see if he can change things so it's not like that. And Doctor Strange actually is able to cast a spell, not to so much change time, but to actually make people forget their memories. It kind of gets a little bit more convoluted because, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Peter Parker wants to keep changing who remembers and who doesn't, and that just kind of messes everything over, and which basically causes, I guess, a tear in the fabric of the time-space continuum, and causes the enemies, the baddies from the previous incarnations, alternate universes, multiverses of Spider-Man to come into this current Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man universe. And if you're thinking that this is a cash grab in terms of a nostalgia trip on the previous villains, and yes, spoilers, the previous Spider-Mans, the previous Peter Parkers, Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire, you'd be right. But you know what? I enjoy the nostalgia, so just sue me. Okay, so sue me for actually having a nostalgia of remembering Tobey Maguire as the very first Spider-Man. So yeah, that pretty much is what happens at the beginning, and then it becomes basically, at first, a race to actually capture all the previous villains, and then what do you do with them? Because here's one of the things that I noticed. He plays on that idea of redemption because Peter Parker, the Tom Holland Peter Parker, has this sort of crisis where he captures the villains, and basically the villains in this that travel to this universe, the current Tom Holland universe, basically traveled right before the moment where they died. So if any of you guys out there have seen the previous movies, you know what I'm talking about, right? So the Green Goblin, he got killed in, I think it was the first movie, and so did, I think, the Sandman, Electro, is his name Electro? Yeah, all the bad guys, they kind of died. Dr. Octopus too. So he's kind of in a crisis. Or what do I do? If I send them back, I'm basically just sending them to die. And because I'm Peter Parker, I can't let that happen. So he kind of just disobeys Doctor Strange's wishes, kicks him out traps him temporarily into another universe while they try to just see if they can cure them. Now, that would have been a very interesting premise, whether or not you can actually redeem villains. Can people really change after for so long? But because this is basically a huge nostalgia trip, you don't really get time to think, and nobody cares because this is a nostalgia trip and you get to see Willem Dafoe again. I enjoy seeing Willem Dafoe, so again, sue me. But it would have been really interesting to see what would happen if they played with that idea a little bit more. And interesting enough, in the fact that they did do all that time skipping thing again. So it's not as obvious as probably, say, Endgame. But the fact is, you went back in time to save someone and now they're alive. How does that affect, the timelines once you send them back alive? You would have, but, because who knows? Maybe the villains from Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 wouldn't have happened without the previous Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1 villains dying. It would have been interesting because, butterfly effect. But again, you're not supposed to think too hard about it because it's a nostalgia trip and because it's Spider-Man No Way Home. And you're supposed to enjoy seeing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire again. So sue me. Although here's another interesting, and I'm gonna be jumping all over the place because that's what I do best. They play with the different incarnations of Spider-Man. And first off, guys, you miss out on the opportunity to use the meme. But second of all, you miss out the chance to point out the fact that there's actually only one Jonah Jameson. Square that. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that. They're probably not gonna talk about it. Despite that, it was a lot of fun, and it does end on a very interesting note. So I guess to re-spoil it again, basically the solution is to reset time, to actually end up resetting wiping all the memories. I'm not quite sure if that actually makes sense, but again, because a wizard did it, maybe it doesn't need to make sense because it's Marvel. Yeah, so basically that is the solution, and they do end up getting cured, and they do end up getting sent back to their respective universes, and nobody remembers who the Tom Holland Peter Parker is now. So we'll see. And it does, not gonna lie, the ending of this movie did remind me of the very ending of the very first Spider-Man. If you guys remember that, it's where, Peter Parker decides to keep his identity because he just feels that it's safer. And that is a very interesting premise, and I hope they kind of stick to that. Probably not, but just for the time being, let's just see them stick to their premises. Sometimes, when you are a hero, with great power comes great responsibility, and sacrifices need to be made. And that means sacrificing the normal life because you're a hero, and don't get the luxury of having that because you're a hero. Come on. But it was a lot of fun. I did find the moment where Aunt May died to be very touching. Very similar, obviously very similar to how Uncle Ben died in the very first Tobey Maguire Peter Parker Spider-Man, and it was cool to see all the Spider-Mans interact with each other and have that heart-to-heart, because they probably don't get the chance in the respective universes to really able to do that and to have something that's so therapeutic, I guess. And it was let's see, it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch all the old characters again, because they still got it. Like, it's like even if it's like 20 years have passed, it definitely doesn't feel that way, because actors kind of just stepped in that role just like putting on old shoes. Like, it was no trouble at all. So great job on that front, all the actors, and great job, I guess, on keeping it as a secret as best as you could, I guess. So yeah, I guess that is all my thoughts. It is gonna be interesting because obviously there is a mid-credits and a post-credits scene, which, interesting enough for me, actually just felt more like another trailer. But I don't mind that. And again, it deals with a lot of multiverses, this time with Doctor Strange, because he meets his alter, like he's evil. And it's like, well, it's interesting. And also, Jet Li the one. There's no one more badass than evil Jet Li. I'm just saying. We'll see. Just try it, Benedict. See if you can do a better job. I don't know if you can, but that's, at the very least try. You've got that chance in the next movie, I guess. So I will leave it at that. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are on Spider-Man No Way Home. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you actually manage to stay unspoiled when you watched the movie? I did. But then again, it was probably because I watched it pretty early on its release. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, because I do hope to keep creating more content movie reviews for you guys. I'll see you later.